When a New Jersey family moved into their new 1905 colonial-style home, they received several threatening and creepy letters from someone called the Watcher. In the letters, the author referred to the family's 3 children by saying, "The young blood you have brought to me," and "Have they found out what's in the walls yet?" Fearing for their lives, the Broaders family moved out and sued the former owners for not telling them about the stalker. In the aftermath of Pearl Harbor, it was discovered by the military that sailors were trapped in the sunken USS West Virginia. Realizing there was nothing they could do to rescue the survivors, they told their families they died during the attack. Months later, when they finally got inside, they found 3 men who'd found an airlock that survived for 16 days. It said no one wanted to guard the USS West Virginia because they could hear the banging of those trapped inside. This creepy story brings a whole new meaning to the Arbys catchphrase, "We have the meats." In 2012, a young boy found a finger inside his Arbys sandwich when he bit into a piece of it. The finger belonged to an employee who sliced a finger while using a meat slicer and left it without telling anyone about it. In 1985, a hunter discovered a 55-gallon drum in Brook State Park in New Hampshire. Inside, he found the bodies of a young 20-year-old woman and a small child aged 5 to 11. For years, the authorities couldn't identify the bodies despite solid leads. Then, 15 years later, another barrel was discovered in the same spot. 2 children were found inside this drum, and they believe they're all related to the woman. Police believe a man named Robert Evans could be the killer, but the case is still unresolved. In Honduras, a 16-year-old started foaming at the mouth and was rushed to hospital before being declared dead by the doctors. A day after her funeral and burial, her husband visited the grave and, to his surprise, heard banging and screams from within the casket. When family members tried to rescue her, they were too late. She died a second time, and they had to rebury the casket. This French serial killer took advantage of Jewish refugees during World War II by charging them a fee to escape Europe. He lured them into his home, injected them with poison, saying it was a vaccine, and watched them die. Afterward, he plundered their things and disposed of their bodies in his home furnace. Nearly 30 corpses were found in his home after the liberation of France, and he was dubbed Dr. Satan. In Tokyo, a man suspected he was a victim of several burglaries after food in his refrigerator went missing. After installing security cameras around his house, he caught a woman walking around his home while he was gone. Turns out she was a homeless woman who took residence in his home when he left the door unlocked and stayed there without his knowledge. In 1922, it was discovered that every member of the family living at this farm, located in rural Germany, plus the maid, was brutally murdered with a pickaxe. They were all lured in the barn, one by one, and there's evidence one of the younger girls was so terrified she pulled out her own hair. Afterward, the killer remained at the farm for several days. As the farm animals were fed and neighbours claimed to see smoke from the fireplace, they never checked in on them. After 100 suspects were interviewed, no one was arrested, and the killer was never caught.